For people who want to start a YouTube channel, the prospect of it all can be scary, it can be intimidating. But today I want to share with you something that I know has made my journey so far so easy. And I want to make sure that I get down everything that I want to say. So I made sure to print some stuff off. So the best thing, without a doubt, as a small content creator, as a small channel, the best thing, in my opinion, is the community. It's loving, it's supportive, it's like an extended family, you know, brothers, sisters. There's so many new friends that I've made on YouTube who I would say I'm maybe closer to than some of the people outside these walls, because I don't really like people. I'm 46 and yeah, I don't really like people. I just feel like there's too much drama in the world and I haven't got time for any of that. So I like to keep within my own people who I know I will like. And in the niche that I am in, the over 40s, over 50s, over 60s niches, I found that they are definitely my kind of people. And it's just so nice and so, excuse me. Yeah, it's just so easy to communicate with them and just share highs and lows with them, you know? Because when you have a channel, it can be quite a lonely place if you don't have a support group, a network of people who you can share your wins with. And when you're down in the dumps and things are not going so great, those are the people who are going to pick you up and say, "You got this. I believe in you. We believe in you." And you know what? Each and every single one of them does. And I've got a bit of a cough today. And I've wrote down a few people who I want to shout out in this video, because these are the people who I feel has helped me the most. First off, Alexis Sarinova. Alexis Sarinova. I keep forgetting the. It's a beautiful last name. Sarinova. That's it. Alexis Sarinova. She's absolutely incredible. Rob the Maritimer, another one who is just an absolute legend in my niche. Brooke Sears. There's a channel called Nicola's Recipes. Catherine Price. Steve Brocky. He's been really helpful for my channel. And the Golden Girls. Karen at YouTube Over 40. Mrs. Paula Does Retirement. And Susan at Artfully Becoming. She does amazing watercolor painting. It's really, really good. So these people and their channels, they've been so supportive of me and my channel and what I'm trying to build with my channel, because I want the people who watch my channel and who watch my videos to feel like they are part of something. We are all part of a community, a family. And without a doubt, when it comes to family, there is nothing more important to me in the world than family. And I'm not talking about like people who you are related to. No, to me, family is the people who are there for you when nobody else is. The people who, just by listening to you or watching you, they can tell something isn't quite right. Are you okay? You don't seem yourself today. Those are the people I consider family. And obviously, you've got your mum and your dad, but not everybody, some people's don't have a mum or dad, especially as you get older, you know. But I'm lucky that both my parents are still around, despite the best efforts to die. 2001, my dad had a brain hemorrhage. They rushed him into the operating table, and during the operation, he suffered a stroke. And I'll never forget that. The day I went into his hospital room, because we got to the hospital on the day it had happened, and he was just talking to me and I was asking, what bloody hell happened. He just explained like he had the worst pain in his head that he's ever felt, and it just knocked him to the ground. He was talking to me, he was fine. And then we went to his ward after the operation, and I walked into the room, and a piece of me inside of me died that day. Because to see somebody like your dad, who everybody feels like their dad is Superman, nothing can hurt them. He looked like he'd done 22 rounds with Mike Tyson. It tubes everywhere. He just his eye was swollen shut. It was just really hard to see. And up until that time, I was the kind of person who, I kept everything together inside. I could go to funerals and people are like all emotional and upset, and I'm like, okay. But that day, I don't know, something inside me just crumbled. I felt so vulnerable. I felt like, wow, my dad could die one day. And that was absolutely terrifying to think about that. But yeah, that's just a little life story for you. So yeah, Rob and Alexa, okay? Each of them has over 40,000 subscribers on their channels. Yet, when you go and watch one of their live streams or you watch one of their videos, if you leave a comment or you ask a question, they go out of their way to reply to everybody. They make you feel seen. They make you feel heard, and they make you feel like you actually matter. And they do that with everybody who replies to them and comments on the content. And they don't need to do this. They're both raking it in on YouTube. They've got money. They don't need to be doing that, but they do it because they care. YouTube for them, it isn't about the numbers. It's about the people who are consuming the content. They don't forget, where they came from. They don't forget that they also at one point had small channels, and it's just amazing to see how they interact with their audience. It's it's just amazing. I will link everybody's channels down in the descriptions, so feel free to go and check them out. They're all amazing people. Yeah, what else was wanted to say? Yeah, so this is why being a YouTuber, it's so rewarding and fulfilling. It's it's a lifestyle. It's a way of life. You're having fun. You're learning new things. You're learning how to edit videos. You're learning how to frame your shots, or what you're learning settings on cameras, and different people are at different stages. Not everybody jumps in and they're like, right, I need to do this and I need to tweak this. No, it's not like that. And that brings me on to my other points. See, this is the microphone that I use in all of my videos. It's like a £40 microphone from Amazon. This is the transmitter and the microphone part, and the receiver is just plugged into the bottom of my Samsung S23 Ultra. I actually went onto Amazon and I bought an £80 digital camera, 4K, 48 megapixel camera. Absolute junk. I ended up selling it yesterday. Went to a second-hand shop and sold it. They gave me like £25 for it. I'd only had it maybe 2 months, if that. But I couldn't make this work with that camera, even though it's got sockets for like Samsung cameras, iPhones, because everybody seems to have an iPhone these days. Don't know why, they break too easy. But yeah, so you don't need all the gear. I could happily just do all my videos with this, because it's all you need. You've got your smartphone. Everybody has a smartphone. You're probably watching this on a smartphone. That's all you need. If you've got a little bit of money, you can go out and buy microphones. There's microphones on Amazon. There's so many great products out there, and quite affordable products as well. Depending on what your budget is, you can always find something to match your budget. So yeah, when you start a channel, don't worry about knowing everything, because you won't. And as your channel grows, you will learn new things, but you still won't know everything. I mentioned Rob the Maritime and Alexa 7 Over. Killing it on YouTube. They don't know everything. They're still learning new things. So just don't worry about not knowing anything. We all start at that point, so just go into it relaxed, and number two, have fun with it. At first, your first few videos are gonna be really bad, but having really bad videos, it's a badge of honor on YouTube. Every channel has them, and they wear it with a badge of honor. It's like an initiation process almost that you have to go through. And yeah, if you're learning something new with each video, then it doesn't matter. You're just having fun with it. Yeah, I've already mentioned that a smartphone is all you need. Now, number 4, and this one I think is it's up there with number 2 in terms of like having fun, is other people's opinions. There's a famous podcast host, Mel Robbins, and she's the author of a few books, and one of them is called Let Them. And the let them theory, it's really very simple. People are going to say what they want, think what they want, do what they want. And you can't control that. So just let them. You focus all of your energy on the things that you can control. Like if somebody leaves you a mean comment, well, you can't control that. You can't control that the fact that they've left you a mean comment. But what you can control is how you react. Do you react at all? Do you just completely ignore it? Do you block that person? You know, it's how you react, and this method applies in every stage of life. You know, you might be in work. If you work in hospitality, I spent 10 years working in hotels. Maybe why I don't like people. You know, we had people coming to check into the hotel. Check-in time is like 3 p.m. in the afternoon. They're coming to the hotel at 10 a.m. wanted to check in. Well, no, you can't check in. Why not? I'm checking in today. Yeah, but your room that you're going into, the person who stayed there last night is still in it, so you'll have to come back later. And, you know, they get all, give you a bit attitude. Never give anybody in hospitality attitude. You don't realize the person on that reception desk, they decide what room you're going into. They know what are the good rooms and what are the bad rooms in that hotel. You could end up with staying in a room that's facing an ugly ass building, or you could be staying in a room on the other side of the hotel that's facing the sea, facing the beach. You know, just be nice to people, be understanding of people, be empathetic to people. Before I came on here, I've just finished watching one of Karen's videos over at YouTube, over 40, and she was talking about studies that have been done on the psychology of YouTube and the kind of things that people want to see. And she was saying, you know, to make your videos emotionally led content. And I found that really interesting. And that's something that I'm going to try and implement in my videos. So, yeah, I think that's it for now in this particular video. Oh, I did say I think it was the 2nd of June when I did my video, I said I want to see if I can get to 100 subscribers before the end of this month. 2 days ago, I went to bed. I was on 14 subscribers. The next day, which was yesterday, I went to bed. I had gained 11 subscribers. Sorry, 9 subscribers in one day. For a channel that only had 14 subscribers the day before. And I put that down to the Golden Girls. Karen found one of my videos, thought it was emotional, it was impactful, it resonated with her, and she knew that it would resonate with other channels within our niche, which is the over 40s, small creator channel. That channel is like so close. We're so like so. It's a really close knit community, and it's just an amazing community to be a part of. So, if you're thinking of starting a channel and you want to start a channel, then stop hesitating and start creating. And don't worry about what anybody thinks. If you're happy, that's all that matters. I'll see you in the next video.